morning, good afternoon, good evening, whether you're all watching this one. This is my 2025 Formula 1 Japanese Grand Prix review, where we saw Max Verstappen, the defending champion, finally get off the mark this season with his first race win of the season, which is no surprise, to be fair, because it is one of Red Bull's homes, to be fair, one of Red Bull's home Grand Prix. But Max Verstappen fending off, holding off the two McLarens who are alongside him, the title contenders for the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen holding off the McLarens to take the race win. But a bit of controversy to the race as well, which we'll get onto in a minute. But it was a great start, wasn't it, from both Verstappen and Jan Norris on the front row. Max Verstappen straight away already covering Norris off at the race start, and then they went from there. And then we come on to the controversy part, which was the pit stops, of course, where we saw Lando Norris go alongside Max Verstappen in the pit lane. Lando Norris trying to make a move on Max Verstappen in the pit lane when they both pitted at the same time. With both of them pitting at the same time. Who's at fault for this? You are entitled to try and make a move in the pit lane, but there was not a chance Lando Norris was ever going to make the move on Max Verstappen in the pit lane. This is the first image where obviously there's a huge stop for Lando Norris to go for in the pit lane. Then we move on to the next picture. Again, you see that gap now closing because Max Verstappen, when you go past the traffic lights at the end of the pit lane, that's when you can now start to speed again. You start to speed after you cross that. And already you see there, you do all. I'm being fair. I am being fair here. I am not going to be biased towards Lando Norris because I want McLaren to win. But I am fair and balanced guy. You even look at that gap there. You already know that Lando Norris is already on 500 watts when you see that gap, because that gap is now closing. And then you go on to the next image. Max Verstappen closes the door, and that allows Lando Norris to drive onto the tracks, and obviously use a bit of balance with the car, and yet Max Verstappen eventually go through and end up holding up the McLarens to win the Grand Prix. As is how it ended. Max Verstappen winning the race by 1.4 seconds over Lando Norris. But once again, another talking point from the Grand Prix. Should McLaren have let Lando Norris and also Piastri swap positions? Because during the race, as much as Lando Norris did get the fastest lap, even though the fastest lap doesn't mean anything anymore. But during the race, also Piastri was again saying to his team, I am quicker than Lando Norris. I am quicker than Lando. And I think that was with 10 laps remaining of the Grand Prix. And to be fair, it was still pretty close between the three of them. It was only, over 1 second between the three of them. And I feel McLaren's... It's all if, buts and maybes, isn't it? We don't know if Oscar Piastri would have passed Max Verstappen if they did swap positions. But I just think there's pressure on Lando Norris this season, and I don't think Lando Norris can afford to be swapping positions with Oscar Piastri, in my opinion. But you look at the pace of the two cars, and Oscar Piastri was very quick, and could have potentially catch Max Verstappen potentially as well. But I think Max Verstappen's done. I think Max Verstappen's really good at holding the tires off behind him. He really is. So it was a hard one, wasn't it, for McLaren? But in my opinion, I actually think McLaren should have swapped them, in my opinion, because Piastri was quicker than Lando. But then, if the race ended with Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, then McLaren would be thinking, well, why the hell did we swap Lando? Because, yes, we will. If Lando Norris would have finished third in the race, Max Verstappen would be leading the Drivers' Championship. So, obviously, with these results, Lando Norris does still lead the Drivers' Championship. So, that's the difference, isn't it? That is the difference for me. And but shout out to Max Verstappen. Shout out to him this weekend. No one predicted him to win. No one predicted him to win in terms of the experts. Oh, hang on a minute. Who predicted Max Verstappen to win this Grand Prix in my preview? I did. Obviously, I know I put Yuki Tsunoda there on the podium, which was definitely a bad prediction from me. But I got the top two right, didn't I, from a preview? I said it'd be Verstappen 1, Lando Norris 2. In terms of the race prediction. It's like I know what I'm talking about, isn't it? It's like I know what I'm talking about. And by the way, Max Verstappen hasn't even got a good teammate this year. Let's be real, Lawson or Tsunoda. He hasn't got a strong teammate at all. So Verstappen's doing this all on his own. No other driver could never do that. Let's be real. About it. And once again, Max Verstappen, doubt him, write him off at your peril. He just does think it's incredible. It really is. Because let's be real, McLaren have got the car this year. The McLarens are by far the strongest, the quickest car this year already. And Max Verstappen still ends up beating them. With what, the third quickest car on the grid? It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. But that's Max Verstappen for you. He deserves some respect, man. He really does. Deserves some respect. Even though the Lando Norris only fans would be crying, he puts him up to the class. Well, no, for me, I still think that's Lando Norris's fault. For me, yeah, there was a daft door for when you don't have the pit in, and a lot of other drivers have done it as well. But you just know there's gonna be high risk. You're gonna drive under the quads, and that's what Lando Norris did. If Lando Norris would have just stuck behind him, going out to the pit in, you know what? I actually think he would have had a better chance. But I've been down onto the cross, did cost Lando Norris a bit, in my opinion. Because when you get the cross onto the tyres as well, it takes about like a lap to get rid of that. And that's where Lando Norris probably lost a bit of time. Otherwise, that would probably cut down to 0.7 for me. So again, you have to feel it's probably another mistake from Lando Norris that Lando Norris needs to learn from. Yes, he's entitled. He was entitled to go for that, definitely. But there's always going to be high risk on 500 class, especially when you're driving alongside Max Verstappen, who will always get his elbows out. And Max Verstappen's entitled to get his elbows out as well. He's entitled to close that door in the pit lane. Let's be real. Max Verstappen was the one ahead in the pit lane. So for me, it's Lando Norris's fault for me, in my opinion. But yeah, great weekend. A great weekend for Max Verstappen. As Max Verstappen now puts himself right in the mix then for the Drivers' Championship alongside Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. Still not a bad Q3 for the two McLarens, even though it's not a race win on the McLarens, but it's still second and third, and that is very strong in my opinion. Just shows how strong the McLarens are. That Max Verstappen will have to fight them on his own. But obviously, there was, like I said before, there was a bit of friction in terms of McLaren team radios to try and swap Lando and Otto. And for me, I think Oscar Piastri should have, for me, got ahead of Lando Norris for me. I think they should have swapped positions, in my opinion. Because it was, 10 laps of maiden? It's not really that risky, is it? Let's be real. 10 laps of maiden, and it could take, 5 laps? See what Oscar Piastri does in the 5 laps. In 5 laps to try and draw Verstappen. If the DAP was still the same, then you can easily swap them back. Because that was the aim, to try and close it down for Max Verstappen. He's the man to beat, isn't he, for the Drivers' Championship? But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But yeah, Charles Leclerc, the two Ferraris, Charles Leclerc 4th, Lewis Hamilton 7th. Not quite there yet, let's be real. This is not quite there yet. Two Mercedes, 5th and 6th. That's where the two Mercedes were expected to be at the start of the season. But nice points then. Good points then for Kimi Antonelli, picking up the points. Fantastic weekend for Isaac Hadjar, which is so good to see, isn't it? Isaac Hadjar getting the points in F1. A quick qualifying session from him, and a quick 1-3 from him as well, to getting the points for Isaac Hadjar. Really is good to see. And you know what? He's a talent, isn't he? He really is a talent, Isaac Hadjar. And for me, he's impressed me so far this season. As Albon, again, consistently getting the points for the Williams, and Oi Berman getting the points as well. This means Fernando Alonso just misses out. It's not a bad 1-3 from him. Not bad 1-3, especially with where Aston Martin are at the moment. Not bad 1-3 from him. Yuki Tsunoda moved up a few places after his poor qualifying session, but still not stored in the points. So already you're already thinking, should they even made the move, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think we need to give Yuki Tsunoda 3 more, the races to the end of the season and the races to the summer break in that Red Bull car. Because already the signs are already looking bad for Yuki Tsunoda at Red Bull as well. It's like the second seat is cursed, isn't it? Apart from Sergio Perez and Mark Webber, who did decent jobs there at Red Bull. Perdazzi, Jack Doohan, 13th and 15th. We still don't know the situation with Jack Doohan, but I think he could still get repairs early on at Alpine with Franco Colapinto. Carlos Sainz in 14th. Hulkenberg, Lawson, Ocon, Bortoletto, and Lance Stroll all didn't store points as well. There was no DNS. No DNS in Chrome. Was just quite a surprise, wasn't it? That there was no DNS. So this is what it looks like for the trial standings then. Max Verstappen closes the gap on Lando Norris to 1 point now. Oscar Piastri is 13 points behind Norris and 12 points behind Verstappen. George Russell only 4 points behind Piastri. Antonelli is in 5th, Charles Leclerc in 6th, Albon 7th, Hamilton 8th, Ocon 9th, Stroll 10th. Hulkenberg, Berman, Hadjar, Tsunoda, and Carlos Sainz have also stored points as well, with Perdazzi, Alonso, Lawson, Jack Doohan, and David Bortoletto the only cars yet to still not store points. McLaren have got a 36-point lead over Mercedes in second. Red Bull 14 points behind Mercedes. I don't think Red Bull will be in the constructors' battle, let's be real, because Verstappen just don't be doing the work all on his own. Ferrari in fourth with 35 points, Williams 19 points, Haas 15 points, Aston Martin 10 points, Racing Bull 7 points, Sauber 6 points, and Alpine are still the only team yet not to score points this season. So that is it for my Japanese Grand Prix review. Obviously, that pit lane incident between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris was a talking point, as was did McLaren regret not swapping positions between Lando and Oscar Piastri. Yet we know that on them two scenarios and them two incidents down below in the comments, as Max Verstappen holds off the McLarens to take the race win in Japan, and we now head to Bahrain. We do head to the Bahrain Grand Prix next weekend. So my predictions will be out for that shortly, as that will be a live stream as well. So that's PC, since everyone watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below on everything in the sport or down below in the comments. As Max Verstappen, the defending champion, he now gets off the mark with a race win for himself in Japan to hold off the two McLarens to win the Japanese Grand Prix.